Hello. I'm
Oops.
like, what's happening for a
Yeah.
second? But hello. Welcome to Masks and Muses, our Dragon Age game here on Restless Barbarian Gaming. I am Aloysius. I was about to say storyteller. That's not what it's called for this game. I'm your game master for this game, and if this session is as chaotic as last session, then I think we're in for a good time. But I will now let all of my players introduce themselves in a clockwise motion, starting with Tom.
Alrighty. Hey, my name's Tom Bolthra on the internet. I'm playing Buccio Viari. He is a smaller gentleman who hasn't really quite figured out his place in the world. He was originally from this city and has returned, and now met up with some people who know more about him than he knows about himself, and this has disturbed him. So we shall see what he learns tonight.
Oh, it's me. I see.
Yes.
Okay. If you guys didn't realize, I actually had to be tutored in second grade to learn how to tell time. So I don't really get it. But hi, I'm Vivi. I'll be playing as Eaosia. We haven't met my character yet, so I'm not gonna say shit. So we're gonna move on to the next person.
Love it.
Hi, I'm Diver. I'm here to ensure that our chaos quotient is met, and with the help of my companions. But I always try to give a boost there. I am playing Aiden Kincaid, who is an infamous scholar of all things forbidden and verboten in any realm of Thetis. And so he comes from the most interesting city in the entire land, Kirkwall, and he naturally finds himself at the University of Orlais in Valroyo, because not only is he interested in plumbing the depths of their forbidden and occult lore there in dusty and dark and forbidden sections of the library, but also to himself speak on all of the mysterious and esoteric things that he has already become knowledgeable in and experienced in Kirkwall, which is, as of late, given the destruction of the Chantry there and the mage rebellion that is currently fomenting along across the lands. Again, a place of incredible interest. So people want to know.
The past 7 years have been very interesting.
Oh yeah, exactly. Sure. Yeah, I mean, he's got a monopoly on what happened there and what was it like, and did Meredith really turn into Red Lyrium and all of that stuff. So
did she really turn into a statue before people's eyes?
Exactly. So he is more than happy to expound on his interesting experiences there. His family, of course, sent him to Orlais on the official reason of, hey, get an education, or extend your education. But really, underneath the table, it's like, okay, we need to get you out of here because you're going to be executed if you stay any longer. So yeah, that's kind of who you're dealing with here. So I assure you that there will be shenanigans. And I turn it over to our game master storyteller DM here.
Yeah, thank you. So many titles.
Yes.
All right. Well, last we left off our I don't even want to call them a party because that would be a bit generous at this point.
It was almost there was a party going on somewhere.
There was a party. Last we left off our cast of characters. Let's go with that for right now.
Band of miscreants.
Yes, yeah, band of miscreants. That's a good one. They had all received a mysterious package with various supplies, as well as a letter and invitation to a salon at Chateau Allery, where they eventually met with a mysterious would-be benefactor who was calling herself Marjolaine. And seemingly, she knew at least enough about the characters to be able to pique their interest. And she said that if she was yes, exactly. If she was if they were truly interested in potentially in her schemes and wiles, then they should pay a visit to the White Spire in 1 week's time, where they would be able to meet a associate of hers who would potentially be able to help them out. And that is where we will pick up here. Is before so many jokes happening in the private chat right now. I guess we will start off with before jumping into the current day, we'll do a sort of brief little snapshot of what Aiden and Buccio have been up to in the past week, mulling all this over.
After you, Aiden.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. Catches the ball. So basically, I am engaged in my activities as of late. That my inner circle of shadowy student assistants and companions and associates have engaged in the Band of Three, as I'm calling them, even though there's more or less than three at any given moment.
Yeah.
And
they're always alternating.
They're always alternating, and it's kind of just the name of their little clandestine organization. You know, it's a, I would say that it's the beginning origin stages of an equivalent type of secret society type of membership that would be like, for example, Skull and Bones, you know, if it were in Thetis. So, you know, like that kind of thing, only trending more towards, you know, explorations in the demonic and, you know, all things forbidden and forgotten, as it were. So, and that may track with Skull and Bones anyway. I don't know. So, you know, it's that kind of thing. And this group engages in experimentation of all sorts of illicit substances and activities. And they have become in recent weeks surprisingly adept at infiltrating and pillaging the lost and locked up tomes of the library of the University of Orlais, in their secret quest to uncover that knowledge which is strictly limited or forbidden by the more boring people of society, that feel that sort of thing should not be promulgated among the students. But of course, they're not entirely isolated and alone in this enterprise. There are one or two scholars and professors at this university who would encourage such activities, at least unofficially and
naturally.
You know, yes, exactly. You know, like there are, you know, those scholars who engage in less than reputable activities for the sake of pure pursuit of knowledge, you know, and that sort of thing. And so, you know, and they're a little bit rebellious themselves, you know, as
without ever endorsing it.
Exactly right.
Obviously.
Exactly would deny, and you know, a plausible deniability, right? You know, and you know, of course, on record would never endorse such things, but you know, all the fun happens after class time. So basically,
Yes.
you know, that's what has been happening. There is a certain consistent member of this club from the name is eluding me at the moment. Where was it? I know that Yes, Antiva. Yes. And she has become an erstwhile member, and they have engaged and Aiden and this companion have engaged in a number of illicit activities for the good of the club, and that sort of thing. So, yes, shadowy meetings in secret alleys with shady characters, suspect, and that sort of thing. And then Aiden has relied on her as his second. She has been appointed to that position. Second, and in order to keep the club activities going, while Aiden pursues additional connections throughout the higher echelons of society, or such as his meeting with Marjolaine at the chateau. Something that our Antivan compatriot here was not invited to do. So Aiden is playing the part of the emissary and leader of this particular little cult.
I'm glad we're calling it what it is.
Yes, exactly. Esoteric and scholarly cult, but cult all the same. And so yes, and so he is managing those affairs and connections with the outside influences of society. While, and I can't recall her name. Do you remember what name you gave her?
I know I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah.
But her name
she
is eluding me right now.
Yes, she is. I should have written it down. But she is absolutely like managing things while he is gone. Keeping the supply of illicit substances and the acquisition of tomes forbidden and lost. Carrying on in his absence. So he is doing all of that and preparing himself to look his finest for the White Spire rendezvous that is occurring at the end of the week here. And he will be arriving with the mask, I assume, or maybe not. I don't know if it's that sort of affair. And with his patented, his trademark designer leather duster with all the pockets, for the many blades and weapons that he has, because
his 12 blades. That
exactly, yeah. That it conceals these things perfectly. Components for rituals, arcane, and everything else. He actually on above board has no magical ability, but that doesn't mean he can't pretend to look like he doesn't. So that sort of thing. So
yeah,
that's how he shows up. He shows up at that rendezvous meeting with. Dressed in his best, his Saturday evening best, and is ready to engage in all sorts of fun shenanigans, as it were, in pursuit of Marjolaine's little quest here for them.
All right, excellent. Buccio, how's the week been treating you?
That is a really tough act to follow.
Hey, you wanted Aiden to go first.
I know. Buccio was doing stuff. No, he was probably just wandering around the town, trying to find out more information about this White Spire. Going into wine houses and shops, and really probably more the lower end of. I don't know if the city has a lower end. He tends to blend in more with the common folk, who usually treat him a little better because he's walking slowly with his staff. Nothing to really prepare. If anything, he is just trying to get a lay of the city. He is very laid back, as you've seen, and isn't forming his own cult. Isn't engaging in a power struggle yet. If anything, just finding places to let him stay the night. He's not ripping them off because you do that too often. People talk. So he's finding meager accommodations, as they say in Coming to America, and when the day comes to go, he puts on his good clothes. He only has his clothes and his good clothes, and Yeah, exactly. His Sunday best, as they used to call him. And he'll probably have the mask ready. He doesn't know if he's supposed to wear the mask or not. So, but if he's in a position where he would see Aiden, he would probably call out to him and go up and talk to him.
All right, sounds good. Well, we're gonna side that real quick, and we're going to go to Eaosia.
Holy shit, it's me, guys.
Holy shit, it's her. Eaosia, you also received one of these packages, but unfortunately, were not able to get clearance from the first enchanter to leave the tower, to be able to partake in said affair. So
Fucking first enchanter.
yeah.
Cramping my style.
Yeah. So I guess we will get into just who you are and also how you've been seething over the past week for not being able to leave the tower as you wished.
Eaosia is more or less mostly a very happy, very chill person. But usually when it comes to butting heads with authority, she has fucking issues. All right. And this normally, you know what? I'm really butchering this accent, so this is just gonna be me figuring it the fuck out today.
All good.
I went in it thinking Italian, and then I went right out the window. But we'll get back to it eventually. Italiano. So she has been kind of like just wandering around, giving like the nastiest, nicest smiles to the first enchanter every time the first enchanter passes them in the hallway. Their, leather shoes have had laces switched out. They found that all of their underlings have, or underpants have been shrunk to two sizes too small. One sock is always too large. And there's just like a series of honestly really horrible coincidences that have been happening to the first enchanter that Eaosia is so sorry to hear about, because that's honestly so fucking terrible to have something ruin your day.
Yeah. It is trying to make his life the biggest inconvenience possible.
What Eaosia is basically saying is that she has a specialty in malicious compliance.
First Enchanter said I couldn't go anywhere, but First Enchanter didn't say I couldn't ruin First Enchanter's life as long as I couldn't go anywhere. So as long as I'm in the circle, First Enchanter is going to wish First Enchanter wasn't. And so Eaosia's main goal this entire week has been to become the greatest thorn up their backside in the most quiet. So they've been going to all of their lessons. They've been doing everything exactly like you asked of them. They haven't been getting in bitch fights with Templars as usual, just on their best visible behavior. But all these mysterious things happen, and it's such a shame. Oh.
And sort of at one point when what's one of Eosia's favorite spots to spend time in the White Spire?
I'd have to say that her favorite spot to spend time in the White Spire is where all the Tranquil are, because they're honestly really chill. And she'll just sneak into the Tranquil rooms and just start chatting with them. And she's friends with one Tranquil really well because they honestly just don't say anything. And so this is her best hide
They're
spot.
just a really good listener.
They're a really good listener. Eosia's a really great conversationalist. And so sometimes when Eosia may have gone too far by putting itching powder in the Templar's armor, and who the fuck would do that? Not Eosia. There is a beautiful closet that this Tranquil owns, and whenever they go looking for Eosia, they don't really go looking for her in the Tranquil's chambers because they think she's too much for the Tranquil. So, yeah.
All right, sounds
Never let them
good.
see your next move.
Yeah. There's one. There's a. We'll say it's about a week since you had initially received this package, and you're spending time chatting with. Let's call him Cyril. Will be this tranquil, and they're sort of just there as usual as you're chatting them up, and you hear footsteps approaching the door.
Cyril,
Yes.
were you expecting company?
No, I do not think so, at least.
Neither was I. I would just go hide in the closet for a moment. If anybody asks, I am not here.
But you are here.
But I am not actually here. I am in the closet, but I am not here. You understand?
I see. You will be in the closet, but not
here.
in the room.
Exactly.
You will be in the
exactly.
room in the closet.
Cyril, you get me like no other. So she's gonna go hide in the closet. Actually, we're going French right now, so we're gonna figure this out.
All right.
They will be Cockney in about 10 minutes, guaranteed.
So you go and hide in the closet, and there's a knock on the door, and Cyril just says, "You may enter." And the door opens, and in walks a sort of shorter woman, sort of like a mop of curly red hair on her head, and her face is adorned with freckles. And she says, "Apologies, Cyril. Is Eaosia here? I needed to speak with her about something. I know she spends time with you sometimes." And Cyril says, "She is not here. She is in the closet. She is in the closet, but not here." And the woman says, "Oh, thank you, Cyril." And she says, "Eaosia, can you please get out of the closet right now? I promise you're not in trouble for whatever it is you did."
That sounds like somebody who wants me to be in trouble would say. I know your tricks. And I am not here.
You then see the closet door just swing open. And standing before you is senior enchanter Adrian, who you would know, since you are also a member of this fraternity, is a very influential member amongst the libertarian fraternity in the Circle Tower.
Adrian, you are very lucky with you because I had a very nasty comment ready. If I had been first enchanter, I would have said, "You must be so desperate for a new wardrobe that you have to go look through the Tranquil's wardrobes."
Yes, I doubt First Enchanter Edmund would be coming down to spend time with the Tranquil.
Which is why this is the best spot. Also, Cyril.
Yes, also why I have not told anyone that you would like to come and hide down here.
I do not hide. I hang out. I chill. I vibe. I act nonchalant. Isn't that right, Cyril?
Yes, she is very much nonchalant.
He's the #1 hype man of the White Spire. Everybody else could learn to be a little bit more loose like he is.
I won't entirely disagree with you there. At least, yeah, amongst a good portion of them, anyway. But the libertarians are slowly becoming a louder and louder voice. So hopefully we will be able to start pushing against the equitarians a bit more.
I think we could do more than push, but that's a you and me thing. That's why you're senior enchanter and I'm here.
Yes.
So like, is there any reason for this chit chat, or were you really just ready to kind of like crash the party?
It is, to my knowledge, that you received a package last week at some point.
Yeah, I swear it was not a bomb. But I just
was
have
not expecting it to
fans
be.
from outside who really want my company. I mean, they understand just how dreadfully fucking boring the White Spire is.
Yes. Well, I would like you to accompany me, as we should be expecting a few guests today.
Are these like cool guests, or like kind of like stick up their ass guests?
I have
Because
not met.
I mean, you know me, I know you. You and I, same side, buddy. We're doing great. But I don't know if I do so well with the stick up the butt, because I want to stick my stick up the butt. When I met with the pompous airheads from down below.
Yes. I have not met them personally. They are not a part of the Spire. To my knowledge, they are not mages, and they are also not Templars, so there is that going for you at the very least.
You know, Aiden, that is a point in my good books. I mean, Templars are lower than scum, so where are they coming? Do I need to get all dolled up? I mean, I know you sometimes need eye candy for your guests, so to make the White Spire look more, how do you say, attractive, so we can kidnap their children later on and bring them into the Circle of Magi.
Well, if we want to be technical about it, we don't do the kidnapping, and typically they're also not from. Well, I suppose I don't really know how else to phrase that, and nor will I defend it. But
You know I'm right.
yes,
But yes, I will go put on my best robes, and I'll get my nicest staff, and I'll make sure it's all nice and polished in case it needs to go up somebody's regents. And then you and I can go do like the whole front door guest entrance and get this fucking party started.
All right. That sounds good. I will meet you on the base level. Hopefully one of the Tranquil will be able to keep them at bay while you get ready.
Send Ciro. Ciro's that number one OG. Ciro's got this in the bag. And I'll go get ready. Just make sure that First Enchanter isn't on my way there, because I'm nice, but I'm not that nice to let a bitch slide. But I mean this in in the way that you're like designated reporter against like threats to like the other enchanters, I guess. I mean no harm towards First Enchanter. I am just warning that some things happen in Spire, and some things could be like getting a fuck ass bomb. So I'm not gonna say I would be responsible, but Ciro's got a nasty pair of scissors, and you never know. Ciro's kind of fucking crazy. Right, Ciro?
I do not believe I am insane, but
that's exactly what the craziest ones say, because they don't even know it.
Well, luckily, I do believe that First Enchanter Edmund is busy with the Night Vigilant currently, so that should not be an issue for you.
Good. So I'm gonna go put on mascara and I'll meet you downstairs.
Excellent, sounds good. And she turns to Cyril and says, Cyril, there should be anywhere between 2 and 3 people coming to the Spire who will likely not look as though they belong. Please keep them at the entryway before. Just don't let them pass until Eaosia and I arrive. And Cyril just says, yes, Senior Enchanter, it will be done. And then Cyril ends up walking off. And so now we will cut back to Buccio and Aiden.
Buccio! How's it going?
Aiden, how are you? It's good to see you again.
I am fantastic. Like, we have made so much progress this week in the research that I do for the university, and I couldn't be happier with my own associates in our endeavors. How about you?
I ate several times this week.
That's fantastic. I'm glad to see you living your best life. It looks like you put on your good clothes today.
I did.
Yeah. Your Sunday best, even. You know.
And he kind of looks down at it. He senses the sarcasm, but he's like, yeah, you might say that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Do you know where our third is? What happened there?
He kind of looks around.
I don't see her anywhere.
I don't know. She was making some friends the other day. Maybe she's
I noticed that.
indisposed.
I've heard things. I've heard that there are rumors that certain liaisons were had that night where we all met, and it's the latest gossip around Val Royaux that a certain representative of a noble house is engaged in illicit activities with certain other infamous and people of ill repute, known for their sexual proclivities. It is yes. I've definitely perhaps she is still engaged in such affairs. I would be so happy for her if that were the case. I encourage the pursuit of happiness, and for anyone really. So.
Should we proceed inside?
Did you anticipate this being the place that we would meet in a week? I mean, is this not fantastic that we're receiving an invitation here of all places?
I'll be honest, a week ago I didn't know this place existed.
I know, right? It's just like I am smelling the magic here. Like it's just like that lyrium scent, is just I'm just breathing it in here. And I can't. It excites me. Like back in Kirkwall, it was you should have seen it. Like the conflict between the Templars, mages. It was, the Kunari even took an interest in that sort of thing. So that was, I can't wait to get back into this, into the intrigue and the magical parts of society here. So, yes. Do you suppose you want to lead the way?
I move kind of slow, as you noticed.
Yes, I have noticed that.
You seem to be full of vim and vigor.
Yes, Buccio, but I know
friend.
I've seen you. I've seen you ascend staircases at a rapid pace, before. And he kind of
blushes a little bit. He's like,
exactly.
That was one time, and I was just a little excited, I suppose.
A spur of the moment kind of excitement.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
I can tell you, my knees hurt so badly later. Paid for it. So
it's because you didn't stretch beforehand. Yeah.
You're right. After you, my friend.
And he takes your invitation and waltzes right up to the door, just like he belongs there.
Exactly.
He is an ambassador, an emissary from the university, interested in all things scholarly research, and of course has received an invitation to this building right here. So he introduces himself properly with a proud knock on the door. Like takes the door knocker, wham, 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 and presents himself as a representative of the University of Val Royeaux, an emissary of Kirkwall.
All right, excellent. And I will say that even if Buccio didn't know what this place was, he still would have been able to see it wherever he was.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. I mean, obviously he could see it. But he had no memory of the city. Yeah. So that's why this week he was sort of going, "Hey,
all good." Just wanted to clarify that
gotcha.
it's one of those few buildings that sort of just looms over the city wherever you are, even at night, because it's lit up by magic at night, so it's still visible. But
kind of like Cinderella's castle, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Occasional fireworks coming out the top, whether those are actually intentional or not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. We know who was lighting off the
that's right.
Yeah, we all know who was responsible for that.
Sorry, I accidentally put something in my doobie that actually lit up. And I really did not mean for it to go that far.
No. Good stuff. So you knock on the door, and you hear the door. You also see the door open with your functioning eyeballs as a robed figure, sort of slicked back, dark hair, clean shaven face, and an emblazoned sun branded, an emblazoned chantry sun branded on their forehead.
One of the tranquil. He immediately identifies or recognizes. Does say it out loud because that might be gauche. But, he basically, says that, he recognizes him for what he is. Yeah.
Yes. And he just says, "Hello. I was told to expect you."
Of course you were. I am a person of recent arrival, but some reputation. I'm sure that you've heard of me. You like you said, we have an invitation to be here. But I'm afraid you have me at a loss, sir. With who am I speaking?
My name is Cyril.
Cyril, it's a pleasure. I am, as you know already, but I feel it only incumbent upon myself to introduce myself. Aiden Kincaid, at your service. Here with my esteemed colleague, Buccio Viari. And we are here to fulfill the duties for which we have been invited.
I know not what your duties are. I was merely informed by the senior enchanter to wait for you here.
Of course, it's over your head and above your pay grade. Yes, that's perfectly understandable. You're on a need-to-know basis. If you would just show us inside, I can take it from there, and I certainly am perfectly capable of finding the first senior enchanter myself.
I am not paid, and I was informed to keep you here until she arrived.
You really should do something about that.
And then he gestures for you to enter.
But thank you. We can talk about, perhaps organizing. There was some movements for that to occur in Kirkwall before everything went, in the parlance of our times, to shit. And so if you are interested in forming a union, as it were, that's what we called it there. We can talk about bargaining, collective bargaining, and arrange for you to receive a salary, which I believe would go far in improving your happiness and fulfillment of life.
What would I do with a salary? I have a roof over my head. I have food to eat.
Cyril, I have such pleasures and substances as you could not possibly dream of that can only be purchased with things called coin. So believe me, you're missing out, okay, on so much. Like you're stuck in a fishbowl here. without even any sparkly accoutrements to keep you entertained. So believe me, I can hook you up. So, let's talk. Let's table this conversation for now. And let's talk. Keep my name locked firmly in your mind. And believe me, I will be your conduit to the outside world of unspeakable pleasures and excitement.
Aiden Kincaid. I will keep the name to memory.
Indeed. Good
And
man.
you, Stout One.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was waiting for him to stop speaking. I am Monsieur Buccio Viari. I don't have quite the retinue or background as my acquaintance here, but damn glad to meet you. And after you, my friend.
And sort of like once you walk into the sort of main entrance, you can let me see if I can check something real quick.
Yeah, because I need to know what this area looks like, because I immediately know what I want to do.
Yes. Well, what would you like to do?
If you hear a groan behind me, it is not me passing a bottle of gas. It's my mom's creaky ass bed. All right, you need to get a new one. The headboard moves. Just putting that out there. I heard her make three noises, and I was like, I don't want anyone to think I'm letting something slip. It's this fuck ass headboard behind me. Right? Pre-warning. Had to put that out there. Not as Eaosia, as V. So continue on with your architecture and blueprint and design, scene setting.
Well,
Had to just put a PSA out there.
No, all good, all good. I thought you were gonna say it was your uncle groaning about not getting back at 8 o'clock.
Always keep them on their toes.
Yeah, always gotta. Well, I guess what would you like to do, Aiden? Or what would you like to try and do?
I am going to plumb the depths of your knowledge about this particular vestibule, this welcoming area, this foyer, waiting room, whatever it is, to kind of get a layout of what is going on here and who is present. Because if there are doors or passageways, archways, as it were, that lead to the rest of this inner sanctum, Aiden will, in a presumptuous manner, proceed in a healthy stride into those areas, because he feels as though he belongs here, and will flash his card as an esteemed member of the Orlesian University of Orlais. You owe, as it were, the credentials and card to embark on scientific and academic and magical and scholarly research in this elite invitation that he has to this institution.
All right. Within immediate eyesight, you see what appears to be 2 Templars stationed towards the back of the entrance area. Naturally. And a bit further in towards where the Templars are stationed, there are steps that lead up to sort of like a bit of an odd landing looking area. And then behind that, there are sets of spiral stairs that head upwards. And then on each side, on the walls on each side of you, there are a few different doors that lead off to various locations.
Excellent. Aiden loves ascending stairs and making his way throughout places that he has not been before. So he will proceed forward with Buccio perhaps at nearby distance or further distance behind him, depending on how slow and limping he is going. And Aiden will proceed towards the Templars and past them, with a nod towards good sirs. It's great to make your acquaintance. I am on special business from the university, and I will be proceeding forthwith up these main stairs.
All right. Well, before you do that, since you are a scholar and a man of
Yes.
knowledge,
Indeed.
why don't you make me a cunning roll to
I would love
see if you know anything about this
Yes.
room,
Yes. I will.
or just the spire in general.
Indeed. I would love to do that. Okay. That's not a terrible roll. It's not the best, but it's not terrible. So it is at a base. It is 8. However, he has a plus 3 to cultural lore, or he has a plus 3 plus cultural lore. Now, does cultural lore apply here?
I would say that applies here. Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's a plus 4. So that's 12. It's
okay,
a
12.
It's a middle of the road roll. It's not a bit terrible.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So you only know so much.
Right. Exactly.
But
this is a new circle, a new tower. He knows of the Tower of Kirkwall, which is adjacent but not quite the same.
Yes, and you would know that the White Spire was actually initially the ruling fortress of Emperor Cordelis Draken I, who is the man who founded the Chantry, and and also and also that this main entrance area used to be his throne room.
Fantastic. I've never, the fact that I'm able to be here for the first time ever, I immediately take out the little sketch pad that he has and just again start sketching and things like that, just with an intense academic and scholarly interest, his eyes wide and scanning for every detail that is there.
Excellent. I figured you would be intrigued.
Indeed. Is there anything of particular note beyond, of course, the information you just provided that stands out to him in terms of the either the decor or the architecture, or perhaps even the personages that might be seen upon these steps, besides the illustrious and otherwise unmoving Templars?
The interior, it's the outside of the tower proper, is very much lives up to its name. It is a pristine tower of stark white stone.
It's immaculate. Yeah.
Yes, which has various sort of additions to the building, sort of jutting off to the side here and there, clearly added later on. And but the interior, there is slightly more color. It still mainly focuses on that sort of monochromatic or achromatic.
They're big on the white. Yeah.
Aesthetic. Yeah, big on the white, but on the inside they add a bit more grays and blacks here and there. Just
neutral colors.
Yeah, neutral colors,
other contrasting colors. Yeah.
To break up the stonework, and there are sort of hints of red here and there.
Oh.
Just to really
flourishes.
Little tiny flares. It's Orlais. It's what they do.
Indeed.
Yeah, so little tiny flourishes of red and sort of the long rug that extends from the entryway towards the stairs is also sort of a crimson red color.
Indeed, a red carpet.
Yes, a red carpet, if you will.
For an esteemed guest, yes.
Yeah, naturally.
Yes, indeed. And so he will take all this in perfectly pleased and happy with the cleanliness of the place, and of course the polite manners of the welcoming committee, and proceed up the staircase on the red carpet, coat kind of trailing behind him, and basically it's a long coat, and he is just making his way up the staircase, and just fascinated with everything around him.
Yes, and as you get to the staircase, you're able to step up the initial set of stairs,
right.
towards that like raised up area where you imagine the throne used to be.
Oh yeah, and I would want to turn around and sit there if possible, or at least imagine what it would have been like to sit there as Emperor Dracon. Yeah.
Yes, the throne, unfortunately, is no longer there.
It's no longer there. Yeah.
But
one can imagine. Yeah.
Yes, but you can imagine what it would have been like to sit there.
Mm-hmm. And so you said I'd get up the initial steps or anything like that.
Yeah, you get up those initial steps, but then like as you try and head up towards the spiral stairs, one of the Templars says, "This area is off limits for the likes of you."
He's going to extend his arm out in my way, or is he going to push me back?
Huh? He's just like holding out his arms to be like, "Hey, don't."
And Aiden it respects his position there to bar visitors, errant visitors or interlopers from just infiltrating the tower proper whatsoever. But he pulls out a fashionable card and says, "Actually, I've been invited here by the first enchanter, and I have the privilege and honor of being permitted access to this entire structure, good sir. Although I respect your position and your responsibilities and duty for being here to stop anyone else of lesser import from making their way where they shouldn't be. Is there any kind of persuasion, communication role that I might make to otherwise persuade this very reluctant guard to
you can try communication, but you'll have to get pretty high.
I'm gonna have to roll high. Got it. Yeah. So you know what? You miss all the shots you don't take. So I'm gonna try. Is that to stop me from?
I was showing your shot. I'm waiting to see.
Okay. Awesome. Let me see here.
I think it was this motion that was confusing.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to make sure I understood that properly. That is 14 plus the persuasion specialty, perhaps even the etiquette special. Although I don't know if you can add multiple specialties.
No, you can only have one.
So that's 15 total. Which I feel like is a fairly convincing argument, although this is a Templar who does nothing but stop people in his way. So
yeah, and the Templar says, "I'm sure that works many places. This is not one of those places."
Aiden looks crestfallen, and he says, "Okay, respect your position, but may I have your name, sir?"
Karen?
I'm
Your
sure,
stir
Karen, or is it Kyle, I guess.
Yeah.
Are we going Karen mode?
You can bet. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Come out! Get straight up to the number one man in charge.
He knows already that Templars and mages do not get along, and so
Knight Lieutenant Frederick.
Lieutenant Frederick, thank you. I feel that you weren't properly informed of my arrival and my invitation to explore the tower. And that is unfortunate because I am going to have to speak to your superiors about this, because I should have been allowed passage, and I am being stopped from conducting important scholarly research by you, and I'm going to need to talk to your manager.
Yes, and sort of like as you're just going full Karen on this Templar who's just trying to do his job.
Yeah.
But Cyril walks up and says, "I did inform you, Mr. Aiden Kincaid, that the senior enchanter would be on her way down."
And I informed you, Cyril, that I had access to the entire tower based on the official invitation that I had. Now,
Aiden, why don't we just wait here quietly for them to make their way down?
Aiden's like, he looks at Buccio and he understands that now he's got 3 people against him, and he's like, okay, you know what?
Not against you.
It's fine. I can go ahead and file a report later. He just walks down, sits down, like it's just like, fine, whatever, I'll file a report later, and he's already written the name of the Templar down as well as Cyril's name, and people will hear about this. So
yes.
Yeah.
And Cyril then just stands there waiting patiently after you've stopped making a scene.
Yeah.
And then a few minutes later, Eaosia, you meet back up with Adrian, and she just says, "Are you ready?"
Born ready. Let's go.
Takes place a year after Dragon Age 2. All right, then let us go. And she leads the way, and you eventually make your way down to the main entrance area. And as you two walk down, both the Templars give Adrian a slight nod, and waiting for both of you are Cyril, your favorite Tranquil in the tower, and two young men who you have not met before.
She's gonna wave at the Templars as she goes down. Hello, dipshit. Wet blanket. Making sure that things are as they should be.
Yes, and Frederick just lets out a slightly irritated sigh, but says nothing.
Aiden hears this, I assume.
Oh, she says it loud, proud.
Oh, yeah.
Echoes in the chamber.
He immediately recognizes potential allies here, and immediately stands up and goes, "Yeah, I see you," and says, "Oh, this must be, those who invited us here, the envoys and emissaries of the tower itself, the esteemed magi that we were meant to meet. I am," with a flourish, Aiden Kincaid from the University of Orlais. I received an official invitation here and was stopped at this area, unfortunately, by Wet Blanket over there, and was just about to complete a reporting on his obstinance and his obstruction of knowledge gathering from one of the university's esteemed scholars.
You totally should. Yeah, that
Yes.
is a great idea. You should actually make sure that gets really harshly dealt with to the utmost degree. I honestly really encourage it, and I'd help you out. Although I have no idea why the fuck you're here.
Yes, and then Adrian chimes in and looks at both of you and says, "I assure you that is entirely unnecessary."
Oh, no. It's no problem at all. I am quite well versed in the writing of such reports, and it is no problem. It is no skin off my back whatsoever to complete this report in triplicate, in due diligence, and make sure that the language of the letter, it meets all the formalities that is usually expected of a situation such as
Would you
this.
like me to let you in, or would you like to keep jabberjawing and have me kick you out?
Wow. So I would like to, according to my invitation, be let in. He makes a note of Adrian. And the name of your colleague here? I don't believe I caught it.
I am Eaosia. So Eaosia is a very tall, tan-skinned elven woman. Stands about like 6'1", 6'2". Very well-refrained. You can see that not much of an active body, really, kind of like thin out of frame and necessity, not very well muscled. She carries like a staff with her. Yeah. She does not lift, I'm afraid. Yeah. She does go to leg day because the spire only goes up, no others. But
yep, a lot of stairs, to be walking.
Yeah. She is very much not doing lift day for her arms. but has a very delicate figure, very piercing, kind of like blue eyes, and just this sort of slightly bird-like hawkish stare about her, where she stares at everything with a certain sort of intensity that clashes with the genial smile on her face constantly.
And Aiden, nods and basically turns back to Adrian and says, given the fact that you know about my invitation, Eaosia here does not, I'm guessing that you are her superior and shall be dealing with you henceforth in terms of access to the tower.
I am one of the senior enchanters at the White Spire. That is correct.
Indeed, and it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Adrian. Despite the colorful commentary that you issued to me just a moment ago, I would like to proceed then with our passage into the tower. This is my friend Buccio. He accompanies me at times throughout this fair city. I hear tell that he was born here, although I have no evidence to that effect. So perhaps he might explain that better to you himself than I can. But let's hie hence to the upper echelons of this fair structure and explore what we can. It is my honor being here.
It's a pleasure, both of you.
And Buccio, don't let his limp fool you. He can move quite quickly on ascending staircases. I've witnessed it with my own two eyes.
I'm grateful for your enthusiasm in my abilities, but really, Aiden, I have my good days and my bad days. And he's staring daggers at Aiden, like,
he's affected by the weather.
I also playing patty cake with Cyril in the corner at the moment.
What I'm picturing in my head is Aiden and Buccio are like Penn and Teller.
Oh yeah.
Like Aiden is definitely Penn Jillette, and Buccio is Teller, and just says nothing. He just kind of leaves it at that, and just kind of goes back to leaning on his staff. So,
you will be. I will escort you up to the middle of the tower. Those few floors are where the other mages reside. The first few floors are merely kitchens and armories for the Templars. So nothing of great excitement there.
Use, great importance in Templars. I mean, if you guys get tired up the stairs, where the fuck did this come out of?
I told you the accent was going to change.
If you need any help up the stairs, make sure to ask one of the chantry dogs. They're good at, doing heavy lifting and not thinking about much.
Clearly. He can't help but agree. And he will, of course, say to Adrian, after you. But as they are ascending the stairs, he is listening, of course, to Eaosia and the commentary about the Templars, their uselessness. And also that, he will investigate questions about, for example, pay for the servants working in the kitchen and things. Are they designated any sort of like compensation for their efforts, or is it like Cyril who apparently doesn't receive anything but the robes on his back and what meager victuals that he might be allotted from the kitchen?
I actually don't know. Are the servants the tranquil as well?
Some of the tranquil do sort of like that more like menial labor. But there are like a handful of sort of like staff that like cooks.
Probably from the chantry.
Yes, like sisters and that sort of thing. So also likely unpaid. Just doing it, because the chantry, essentially.
I mean, Aiden, the easiest way to put it is, do you pay a sword?
No.
You don't?
No. But then
you use a sword when you like to use a sword?
Being.
I know, but I'm only explaining it through the eyes of the Chantry, right? So the Chantry has a big tower called an armory, aka the Spire, where they take, people when they're young or they're old or willing or not, and they stuff you in here so you learn magic, and then they hone you like a nice big blade, and then they make you go through this fun test where you go through the fucking fate, and then you have to face great demons because you're already at risk for demon possession.
Eaosia.
And so if you fuck up, you get turned into like Cyril.
He's writing everything down. This is like, committing it to memory. I'm like,
my apologies, Senior Enchanter. I just wanted to make sure that our education and our great systems of the Mage Tower are being surely expressed to the public.
And properly understood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What better way than a direct source?
Indeed. And I am here for it. And I appreciate the illumination you've already provided into the current lack of pay structure for all of those who may have been committed willingly or even against their will to certain tasks within the tower. It's clearly.
Thank you. I'm sure I'm radiant in my words.
They not speak of this sort of thing outside the tower. They keep it very, insular and very like this is just not something that's reported on. And I am learning so much already within the first few minutes of being here that I intend to take back and pursue in further explorations and research. So thank you so much. This has been an already a singular pleasure. And please continue to tell me everything about your experience here as a mage. I am listening.
You talk a lot, but it's okay. I like it.
I'm a man of many words. I profess, as it were.
Not all of them are totally useful, but I like most of your words.
Thank you. I feel the same about your colorful activities here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yes. I feel like we already have forged an understanding.
Yeah. Sure.
Indeed. On one particular note of which you spoke, you said some people find themselves here not necessarily by their own volition or willingly. Were you one such?
Oh, do you think I'd be here by choice if I wanted to be here?
That's what I'm investigating.
The rest of their life.
Yeah. So you would actually, if you had it all to do again, you would not be here at all. Is that? Am I understanding that correctly?
No, I'm from Antifa. And I was taken here as a child, unwittingly, because my father was a blood mage apostate, and I have magic powers, which makes me cattle for the Chantry. And yes, so I am here, not because, my own will or my own destiny or my own fortune, but because the Chantry has decided that I deserve to be put in a box.
Yes, and then as you say that, Cyril, seemingly almost on instinct, just says, "Magic is meant to serve man and never to rule over him."
I'm not saying I wish to rule over man. I wish to live amongst man, not in a cylinder. So, it is quite unfair. I mean, the Chantry decides where I get to go, when I get to leave, how I get to live my life. And let me tell you, I don't get paid. If I did get paid, I would be buying very nice fucking outfits right now and married to a very handsome nobleman who would pay for those very nice outfits. I have no interest in ruling the world, right? You know who does rule the world? The Chantry. So I'm sure that, I understand the winter mages brought the blight, so sad, so bad, boo-hoo, blah, blah, as if mankind hasn't done it himself. I mean, sure, we may have brought one plague, but people didn't wipe their ass, and then they brought plague and put bodies in the streets and brought plague. And then they had wars to kill each other and brought plagues of death. And then they burned each other's fields and crops. You can't blame everything on the mages. Mankind was bad enough itself. So I think that it is very foolish to control my population in such an inhumane way. I am not a sword. I do not deserve to be locked up in an armory until I'm used for a blight.
And as Eaosia continues on her anti-Chantry tirade, you eventually make it up to the middle of the tower where the mages reside, and then Adrian escorts you in, and leads you to the library. And she turns to you and says, "As a scholar, I'm sure you could appreciate our fine selection here."
Yeah, even before Adrian gets all the words out, Aiden is striding forward and immediately scanning the shelves for all of the titles he may or may not be familiar with, and just kind of like looking at all of them, quickly making notes of certain titles and the librams that can be found there, and of course taking the opportunity, if one such exists, to ascend the ladder, as it were, like that moves along the bookshelves, perhaps. And now, given we're in a mage tower, maybe they don't use ladders. They just kind of float up to where they need to go. But it's one of those things where if there is one, he will make use of it. And
yes, there are
peruse the vast amount of text that he has not had the opportunity to access before this.
Yes,
moment.
there are ladders, because there are still Templars here who cannot do magic.
Indeed.
At least in that standard sense,
yes.
at least. And Adrian turns to you, Eaosia, and says, "You seem to be making friends. Stay here. I will return shortly. And please try not to cause too much of a ruckus."
I never associate such problems. These things happen to deserving people at deserving times.
Yes.
But I will be on the lookout for such chaotic happenstance.
Yes. The Templars may not see it that way.
I don't expect them to see much.
So Aiden knows that he's already got a feel for Eosia's feelings about being here, and her opinions have been so enlightening. And so as soon as Adrian leaves, like the moment they're out the door, he's going to turn right around and do 180 degrees to approach her and immediately drop his voice and whisper, it's like, "What is the most salacious text in here of forbidden and cult knowledge?" Like, point me to that right now.
Salacious, forbidden.
Oh, yes.
Eaosia, make me a cunning roll real quick.
Cunning? Oh, no. I mean, I think I'm actually good at cunning. Okay. So I roll 3d6.
Yeah, roll 3d6, add them together, and then add your cunning, and then any relevant focus you may have.
Okay, so my cunning's a 12. All right, so I would add the whole 12?
No. Your cunning...
Or I would add the 12 bonus.
Let me look at your character sheet real quick. Let me see if I can pull that up. Do I not have it on my laptop? Well, let me go download it. I'm like, well, let me go download it real quick.
I know the total for my cunning is 12, and then like the little number next to it is a 1.
Yes, that's what you add.
Okay. Hey, this is where I was like, guys, like, I don't really know if I'm adding a 12 to every roll. I think I'm fucking set. No.
Yeah, I think I'm a fucking genius.
It actually should be 2 instead of 1.
It should be 2.
Yeah, it should be 2. So don't shortchange yourself there. Yeah.
Holy moly. Okay. If I add 2 to my roll. Yahtzee, come on. Ooh, I'm on a roll. Okay, so I have focuses in arcane lore and healing. So could I use my arcane lore focus?
I'd say arcane lore would apply here, yes.
So what would that do? What would that add?
That adds that just adds 1 extra to your result.
Okay, so I would have a total of 3.
Yeah.
To my roll.
And then add that to whatever you roll.
Moth my eggs. So I rolled a 15 plus 3.
Okay, plus 3. So 18. That's quite good.
And I had to do it. For the.
And I hope this is to Aiden's advantage and not his disadvantage.
Yeah. And you don't know necessarily where Well, you don't know exactly specific tomes, but you know that like the forbidden texts are kept in the ancient archives on the lower floors that are sort of like between the like main entrance and what people in the spire call the pit.
So, okay, here's a bit of the issue. They're not here because the library is easily accessible, and if everybody could get their hands on illicit knowledge, let me tell you, I'd be down with fucking illicit knowledge right now. But
he's immediately seeing a kindred soul here.
I honestly think that I'm such a danger to like society and like the chantry, and it's really wrong. I'm only a danger to the chantry. So
I hear you 100%. Yeah,
I know you do. I'm really appreciating this, like, very receptive feedback. I really only get this from Cyril these days.
And he can.
Adrian thinks I'm a little too extreme.
He kind of winces a little bit at the mention of Cyril. They're like, you know what? But it's okay because she's a conduit for knowledge, and he's listening.
Cyril was once a very great genius, novice, mage learner, and then he failed the test, and so they dumped him to tranquility. Shame, isn't it? Imagine you had such a bright mind that it was such a danger, and then they put you in danger and you couldn't handle danger, and so they just lobotomized you. But it's basically between the main entrance and the pit. So, I mean, we're supposed to stay. Mr. Burkio, I have a question.
Yes.
So, how attached are you to staying here?
He looks around. He's like, I have no interest in staying here.
I think we could all use a bathroom trip.
I'm feeling compelled suddenly.
Yes. I really need to go to the bathroom. And did Cyril come all the way up with us?
Cyril did come up with you, but then Cyril left with Adrian because she dragged him along.
Cool. If not, we were going to have to deal with Cyril and have Cyril tell a minute lie for us. But Cyril can only tell very specific lies if you word it specifically. So, yes. I never want to abuse Cyril in that way. It is just in the sense that I tell Cyril one thing and then Cyril spouts it back, and it's not my fault if people believe Cyril. So
hardly.
We're gonna go to the in-between levels, and we're going to find your illicit knowledge. Why? Because fuck it. So I'm gonna lead them down. And
yes.
And if anything, if you're interested in really reporting about this stuff, I've written some great political papers about, like, say, the Chantry. I keep sending them to the main Chantry headquarters, but they keep sending them back burned. And some of the Templars won't even let me send letters anymore because I've sent so much hate mail.
He immediately takes a card, writes his personal mailing address on the back of it, hands it to basically send it here, and I will make sure.
I'll have Cyril send it to you. They don't check Cyril's mail.
Yeah. So yes, this is a proper address for a chantry office that is perhaps one you have not heard of. And of course, it's not a chantry office at all. But basically, he's like, I will make sure I am on good terms with the folks there, and they will make sure they do not burn your papers at all. So yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
I've had to re-ink all of my papers many times. I mean, I know them by heart now, so it's really great. If I ever get out of the spire, I can just shout it in the streets, and they can really actually call me crazy.
Clear that you get treated unfairly, and I intend to remedy that situation. I know good people, and so just like you are helping me right now, I can help you on the outside too.
She's gonna look at him for a moment, and she's gonna be like, "You're like those things in the novel, like the knight in shining armor."
All right, so
we're gonna go to the thing.
Okay,
this is
so
obviously a better comment than being compared to Cyril. So.
Yeah. Okay, so you plan on sneaking down to the ancient archives.
Oh yeah.
Breaking and entering, baby.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously Eaosia knows her way around and knows the shifts and rounds and everything else like the back of her hand. And so, yes, as far as like cunning and dexterity and stealth and everything else that you might need, I'm here for it.
And Buccio is good with distractions.
Oh yes, he's fantastic with distractions.
And he can play the Lost Taurus very well.
Oh, yes.
Buccio, I had no idea you brought such skills to the table. This is great. We are such a well-rounded group.
All right.
So he'll sort of bring up the rear, I guess. So.
He's especially skilled on stairs. He can fall down them like nobody's business.
It is okay. I do that sometimes.
Yeah, especially if you take his walking stick away and you really just kick him under the legs and he just falls. Genius.
A little Dobby moment where Lucius Malfoy swats him down the stairs.
Yeah. Exactly.
Go, Buccio!
Okay.
We're playing Templar bowling.
Yes. So Eaosia, even if you plan this immaculately, you will still inevitably run into Templars somewhere along the way. So what's the plan for dealing with that?
Okay. We have two plans. Plan A is probably better than Plan B, just so you know. Plan A, Buccio is going to play Last Tourist. Buccio, you falling down the stairs might actually be a very good idea.
I'd really rather not. I'd rather say I was looking for a restroom.
You can do that. Your Plan B can be falling down the stairs if the bathroom isn't enough. I don't know how hard you're willing to come into the bit, but I assure you, I have the healing gift. So, if at the end of it, you do need some help, when we get back, I will be able to kiss all the boo-boos goodbye.
Okay.
I appreciate
good man, and he's like already like pounding him on the back. He's like, good man.
I appreciate your calmness with this plan. Plan B is that I distract the Templars. That might cause a bit more of a scene because although I'm really usually good at doing things at night when like most of the Templars are kind of slightly sleepy, and during the day when everybody's busy and like sometimes I slip like I don't know laxatives into their drinks. I usually rely on like kind of like mass to kind of be my chaos, and so I sneak around things when it's either at its utmost low or like its highest peak. And so right now we're in like a in-between time. So I could do my best to distract them. That would leave you probably without a guide because the Templars don't trust me. And I don't trust the Templars. So
I think the order of operations that you've laid out is a good one. We send Buccio in first. He plays the wandering tourist in need of the restroom, and then if we encounter further resistance, we may go to Plan B, which is you slip some fake lyrium into their drinks and cause them to also need to go to the bathroom, and then we proceed accordingly. If they hold you back, I will slip around and basically access the inner sanctum myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Plan A is Buccio.
I love this plan.
Plan A is me. Plan C is see Aiden through the door.
Exactly. Perfect.
All right, crew, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go fuck shit up.
Yeah. This is what you came for, audience. All right, this is what you're watching for. So yeah,
she's actually gonna kneel down to Buccio real quick and just be like, "If you really don't want to trip down the stairs, you don't have to. I mean, like the books really aren't that important. I can probably get to them at some other point. So
it's a bit humiliating.
Yeah. So if anything, I know some of the Templars get really, really uncomfortable when people mention really bad bodily functions. So you could pretend somebody slipped you a laxative, or that you're having like really bad diarrhea, or like you're about to vomit. If anything, I trained myself to vomit on command on Templars. So, I could give you like a bag of the stuff if you need it.
I think I'll be okay.
Eosia is such a menace to society, and I love it.
This is the Dragon Age equivalent to Get Help, basically. Like, this is.
When I tell
Yeah.
you, I came in with the intentions of her being the nicest girl in the world,
Oh,
just kind
God.
of like a daisy in the wind. And I started playing her, and she became the most vindictive menace ever. She was born
Who's gonna-
fully formed.
Goes,
just immediately devolves into a chaos gremlin.
Exactly. I was like, oh my God, like she's sweet. And I'm like, no, this bitch hates it here. And everybody needs to know. This is everybody's problem now.
This
And I was like, I'm
is
going to
the
make
always
sure
meant
it
to be.
stays that
Yeah.
way.
It was
All right.
destined to be this way. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, Wukio, pretend to shit yourself or need to vomit or really have to pee.
Or throw yourself down the stairs in an artful
Maybe
fashion.
don't throw
Yeah.
yourself down the stairs. He's not
he
comfortable
will.
with that, Aiden.
When Aiden says that again, he's going to swing his staff and
Hey!
he's going to put it right on Aiden's chin and be like, "Enough with the throwing down the stairs."
Okay.
He's not comfortable. We're not going to
You're
make
not.
him
You're
throw
not
himself
comfortable
down
with
the
my
stairs.
idea. I understand. You know.
know.
If you want somebody to be thrown down the stairs, you can throw yourself down the stairs, Aiden.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm not as good or skilled at it as he is, but enough about me. So, you know.
All right, so let's enact. We go through. Wukio, you know your part?
Mhm.
My part, I know where it is. I've never actually been there. So when we get there, it's kind of like, surprise. Are
I've
you
got an
cool
eye
with
for
that,
these things. Yeah. Your
I hope so.
expertise and my expertise combined, we can do anything.
All right, so just point Buccio on the way he's supposed to go, and he will begin wandering.
I actually don't know which way to go. I just
All
going
right.
off the GM's
You know,
knowledge.
yes, you know generally.
Eosia knows. Viv doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. Eosia knows that it's between the sort of like main entrance area where you all first met and the pit, which is lower down, which is sort of the product of a bygone era. It's filled with dungeons and ancient torture chambers and collapsed, flooded areas. It's between those two areas.
Something
And-
that might look familiar to Aiden, being a citizen of Kirkwall and also a scholar there, and everybody knows what the tower in Kirkwall, who lives in Kirkwall, looks like. I mean, with dungeons and everything else, you know.
Yes.
That's yeah. So this is absolutely familiar to him.
Yes.
In a adjacent tower dungeon, forbidden, older, way. Yeah.
Yeah, the vast majority of the tower does not look like that at all. The pit is like the deepest parts of the tower that is sort of like its shame in modern day.
Skeletons and shackles here, screams
Yeah,
of the damned,
naturally.
occasional phantasms walking through. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Nailed it. And so you know that the entrance that you would need to get to is you have to like go through one of the doors in the main entrance area, and that'll lead you to a chamber that'll wind your way down to the ancient archives eventually. As far as you're aware, you personally have never actually been there. You just know generally where it is.
This is even more exciting. She's not even been there before.
Okay, I have an idea for you that will make your story extra believable. If you go down there asking for the Templars for help finding the bathroom, you can tell them that I gave you something to drink in the library. Because you expressed your great love for the Chantry. And, you can really butter yourself up to the Templars by speaking about how you like it. And this is just a suggestion if you're more of an improv guy, but I wanted to give you some foundation to scaffold. But you can use me as an excuse, because that's what I do to people. Not you, obviously, but people who are usually Templars. So they're quite familiar with my potions.
All right. And as you are sort of rounding down, it appears as though that there's sort of like a lagging shift change going. Like one of the Templars is already gone, and Lieutenant Frederick, the one from before,
Wet blanket.
yeah, he's still there, looking like he's kind of looking pissed that the one Templar is seemingly just went off somewhere before the shift change proper, and is sort of just standing guard by himself currently.
So is it just like spiral staircase, or are there like any alcoves that Aiden and I can disappear into while Bukio is either going back up or like distracting the Templar?
There's like various like, I wouldn't necessarily say alcoves, but you can because the way it's set up is like once you get down to the main entrance area, like the spiral staircase sort of like splits and then like folds around the pillar into like two separate staircases, which then like leads down into like the main open room where Lieutenant Frederick is currently. And there's like a few pillars here and there that you could potentially duck behind.
At the top of the split, and when they're coming, go down the opposite end. Or go behind the pillars.
Yes, you could. Yeah, yes, any of those are options.
Same page, yeah.
All right. So I say we wait at the top of the split so we know which way to go.
Right.
In case he brings in the other end.
Right. I agree. I concur.
All right, Bukio. Now is your time to shine. Really sell it. Really clutch your stomach. Also, tilt your knees inward. Maybe hold your breath for a few seconds to make your face seem red and start to sweat. And if anything, you can make farting noises with your armpits.
It just kind of chuckles and he says, all right. So he's gonna, I guess, start walking towards, is it Frederick? Who's basically, and he's gonna just sort of walk past him, just kind of aimlessly shuffle. Just kind of with this look on his face. He's like, oh man, that tavern food was not, oh boy. He's just going to kind of keep shuffling forward, and he's like, I hate to bother you, but do you have a privy I could use?
And Frederick looks... Frederick looks real annoyed that he has to be dealing with this right now, and he just says, through that door.
Which one?
That one, right there behind you.
Oh boy, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I think I'm gonna. Oh boy, you don't want me to do this right here.
No, well, yeah, that's why I'm telling you to go that way.
And he's gonna put out like his arm, like, could you please help me get there?
Make a communications roll.
Okay. And I want to include my deception as well.
So. Well, you are certainly doing that.
I don't know. Maybe he really got to go, man.
So it's 9, 10. So then I add my skill I have in communication.
Yep.
Yes.
To that? Okay. All right. So 10 plus 5, 15. And then I add my 2 for my deception. So that's 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You see him sort of. Yeah.
He's looking around like, where is the other Templar?
He is doing that, and he's just like, Andraste's tits, and he is like, fine, and he does not take your hand. He just leads you. He just leads you.
Okay.
But, let's see. Both of you make me a dexterity roll to see how
I would be glad to.
How smoothly this goes.
Fine shit.
Oh, is your dexterity not quite as high?
No, but my rolls are hot, so
Yeah. I got a 14 total.
I also got a 15 total. I don't get to add anything to my dex, so just a 15.
That's a
Okay.
fantastic roll.
That is
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
really good.
I was a 4, a 6, and a 5.
Yeah, that's a great roll.
And what did you get, Aiden?
I got a 14.
Okay.
I have thankfully more dexterity because that roll was kind of middling. It wasn't really.
My
great.
dexterity is a 6.
Yeah. Okay. So both of you just as quickly sort of just sneak down the opposite stairs.
Yeah.
As Frederick leads Buccio through this set of doors, and you find yourself outside the door that should lead you to the stairs that'll eventually take you to the ancient archive, hypothetically.
Right. Assuming, it's still there and that you haven't completely, just destroyed it and all that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We must go quickly, but also very much aware to keep out an eye for traps or the arcane.
Naturally. Yes, of course.
Tricky.
And he will have his perception checks up to make sure that no such traps or any such things occur. And of course, the aimless wandering Templar who might be down here too, just kind of,
just chilling.
Right, chilling.
As you do
eating
in
that
the
lyrium
ancient
addiction, as it were. So
as you do in the ancient depths of
yes, plumbing the ancient depths of the tower. Yes.
The children yearn for the mines.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
All right. Just
All right.
Aiden and I down the corridor, down the stairs.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, watch out for that stair. It's crumbling.
Oh, steps around it.
Yeah.
These stairs are not good for big feet. They're kind of small.
They haven't actually been paying any attention to the maintenance down here, and the whole structure sits on this place. Like it could result in the casualties of everyone if this were to suddenly if the foundations were to give. I've seen this.
I'd love for all the Templars to die in a spire fire.
Aiden gives her a side eye like.
Eaosia does not like. There's not a single one she likes.
It would be so unfortunate, wouldn't it? It would be, and he's just nodding, in sympathy.
They're all part of the Chantry cult, and I can't excuse that, especially since they work in the Mage Tower and they have a position of power over us that's used to abuse us.
Indeed, and you're oppressed in here, and jailed against your will, and marginalized, and
And I'm beautiful. I don't deserve any of those things.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You have deserved a better life.
Pretty people don't deserve to suffer.
Yeah,
we need to die. So.
Oh boy.
So do we find this repository of forbidden lore and knowledge, or is there?
So eventually, you start winding your way down these stairs, and you find a sort of large set, sort of large set of double doors that leads to a locked chamber. But then there's also sort of a separate pathway that leads a bit further down off to the side away from it.
Oh, this must be it. Double doors, archaic, locked. I mean, clearly a vault of forbidden knowledge here. Yeah.
I don't know how to open the lock.
I got this. Don't worry. He's gonna just pull out a fully stocked, thieves' tools set, basically, from.
Wait, I would check for magic first, because
a great
you
idea.
are like a man, like a mere man, not like a magic man, just like a.
Oh, I have my magic tricks, yes. But by all means, feel free. Yes. After you.
Oh, thank you.
Make a perception roll. Well, I guess perception or willpower, depending on how you're going about it. Okay.
Willpower. Willpower is 15, y'all. I'm not getting possessed by no demon. Okay. So I have a focus in that. Wait, actually, no, I don't. I just have willpower. But
so that should be 5 to your roll.
5. Jesus Christ! I wrote everything down wrong. Holy shit, guys!
I'm not going to argue. 5 bonus to this roll. Fuck
Yeah. Wait. So if I have a 9 to something, is that also 1, or is that a 2 already?
Let me see if I can find this real quick.
That would be
because I looked at it and I thought it said 3, but that is me also.
I would say it might be 3 then, actually.
I thought 15 was a 3.
Yeah.
15 is a 3. Yes.
Okay. Yep. 3 then. Yep. 3.
Yeah. There we go. Oh my god, I was right.
Okay. Yep. There we go. Because I was like, 5 sounds high. That does not sound
correct. I
correct.
argue with it. Like 5 is okay.
Yeah.
Can I have
But yeah,
5?
no.
Just because it sounds nice.
No, it's 3. It's 3.
All right. I
3 is still good.
Yeah, I have 12
still
total.
good.
Oh wait, no, I have 13 total. No, 12 because I don't have a focus.
Okay.
My bad. I keep saying that I wrote willpower in my willpower tab, and I keep thinking I have a focus in willpower, but I don't.
All good. 12. You don't sense that it's trapped necessarily,
My
but
bad, Aiden.
but you do get a sense that the locking mechanism is magically enhanced.
The lock has a magic drug in it, so it makes it better for a lock.
Enchantment?
Yeah, that thing. So, I mean, I don't do enchantment really. It's not my super taste. But, yeah, so it has the pink magic squirty on it. It's enchanted, so it's a better lock than normal locks.
That's totally understandable. And he is going to proceed as he was before. I assume this is a dexterity roll.
To try and pick the lock, I'd say so. Yes.
Okay.
Is there any way to give assistance?
I would love that too. Yeah.
I say for this.
Is there like the help action in this? I don't know. Like where you get advantage.
What would you be contributing here?
I would be trying to kind of feel the magic in the lock to try and help guide him in the way that I know that the lock is magically enhanced. So I would try and use kind of like my magic radar or like sense it and see if I could possibly help him navigate it.
Guiding his hand as to what the magic was doing from moment to moment. Yeah.
I will allow him to add an extra 1 to his results.
Fuck yeah.
You are the best team player. Okay, so we have a 16.
16.
On the dice. Yes.
You start like fiddling. You take your sort of like little lock picking kit out and you start fiddling with the lock, and you feel it like wanting to give, but then like as soon as you like try, it just gets stuck, and you just like keep going and going, and you feel like if you like keep trying the way you are, you're just gonna snap your tool.
Does it need like a specific key, or is it magic?
Eaosia, make me a cunning roll.
Might I provide assistance there, because he's got quite a bit of cunning.
2 heads.
Yeah.
Better than 1.
That's right.
You said we need my POV as well.
That's right. Exactly.
For this,
I mean, Aiden considers himself to be the lock whisperer, so let's.
I would say this is less specifically about how the lock works, and more specifically about like general mage circle knowledge.
Okay.
So
that is an 11 plus 2 plus 1, so that is a 14.
Okay, 14. You don't know for sure, as you haven't seen it and you haven't been there personally, but you have a sense, sort of like after like getting a sense for the door and things that you've heard about it and all that sort of thing, you have a feeling that this door actually leads to the phylactery chamber.
We're in the wrong place.
Wait.
But it may be a place of special interest to Eaosia.
Wait, is that where they make the drugs for the temp? What's the phylactery again?
The phylactery.
That's where they keep your blood.
Yes,
to track you.
Yes, the phylactery is where they.
Oh, I can get out!
Yeah, the
That's
phylactery
right.
is the phylactery is where they keep the blood of all of the circle mages should in the event that they leave without permission, so they're able to track them and hunt them down.
If you get yours out of there, you're home free. You can get away and they'll never be able to find you.
But that's not our mission right now.
No, it's not. But sometimes
Right now we are trying to get illicit, and now I know that the phylactery is down here.
Yes,
And
indeed.
so I don't think we can get through the door ourselves at the moment. I mean, I think you're great. I think I'm fucking great. I
We're
don't
both
think I'm that
fantastic.
great right now.
Yeah.
Yes. And I would say that you also know that whenever the phylactery chamber has needed to be accessed, it's always the first enchanter who goes to unlock the door, but he is always accompanied by a Templar
Yeah.
whenever he does.
Of course, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, Aiden, I hate this place. I really hate this place. But sometimes you have to work as far as you can up through the system before you break out of the system. And right now I'm part of this really great party that's going through kind of like this effort to cause change in the circle of magic. But I feel like a really big quitter if I didn't at least try to fuck shit up for the Equitarians or wherever those fucking pansies are who think that we should suck the chantry's dick down to the fucking sack. So, you and I are going to get illicit knowledge. You and I are going to have brains full of dark power and dark knowledge. And you and I are going to rip the chantry at its rotten seams.
Indeed.
But not today.
And you know what? I am also a big believer of options. So if working your way up through this corrupt organization does not, work out, we have Plan B here.
We have Plan B here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have a contact outside. I'm trying to find a way to
You do,
contact.
and he's going to point to himself. He's like, you do have a contact.
No,
Yeah.
you're my new contact. You're my
Yes,
new great
exactly,
contact. Why don't
yes.
we walk and talk, actually, Aiden?
Yeah.
So, I think you're really great. I think you're a great contact. And while
Fantastic.
you're outside,
I know people. I get around. Yeah.
I don't know if I'll have permission to go out. I have a feeling I might. I was actually quite a pain in the first enchanter's butt this past week because the first enchanter was a bitch. So,
And he's going to, as she's talking, he's going to usher her down the further down into the dungeon, the spiral staircase here, in search of illicit knowledge, and he's paying attention to everything she's saying.
So when you go outside, because I don't know if I'll be allowed to go outside, and that's such a horrible thing for a human being to be able to say, or an elven being to say, I can't go outside because I'm locked in a tower.
It's
what
awful.
am I, Rapunzel?
Naturally.
And there might be somebody in town called Moirin.
He's writing it down.
Male, elven, with hair like mine, curly and dark to the point where it almost looks blue. Although his eyes are black.
Got it.
I heard through speculation that he might be in town. I really wasn't supposed to hear about it, but
if he is, I'll find him.
I would be eternally grateful. And I would smite your enemies should you need me to.
Excellent. We have an accord. Yeah.
We have an agreement.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Unless your enemies are my friends, then we will have to talk. But
I have
We
a
will see
feeling
if
we're
we
on
can
the same
negotiate.
side. Yeah.
Yes. So let's go get illicit knowledge, and we will
Indeed.
discuss our further friendships.
All right. So you guys head deeper down into the White Spire.
The dank vault. Yeah.
The dank vault, yes.
Yes, indeed.
Meanwhile, Buccio, you were being escorted to the privy.
Mhm. Oh,
And
Ooh.
he and Frederick immediately swings open the door and practically just throws you in there, and is like, there.
Oh, thank
And then
you.
he slams the door closed.
Do you have 2-ply? This looks a little rough.
He does not respond.
Is he still out? Do I still hear him though?
You haven't heard him walk away yet.
Okay. And he's I hope I get it in time. And he's gonna start making like fart noises. He's oh my god. Oh, milk was a bad idea, I guess.
By the maker.
Oh. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh,
stop talking to me.
How can I express my gratitude to you if I can't? Oh, God. Oh, mother. Oh. And just we're just doing his best to. Hey, he's actually gonna take his staff and start stabbing it on the ground like, oh god damn, oh
my god.
Okay, ooh. You got it. Do you have any candles I can light in here? I really feel bad for the next person who's got to come in here.
They'll live.
Ooh. Well, thank you. Thank you. I will definitely tell your staff what a gentleman and a great help you are. Oof. Oh boy. Oof. Oh, do not come in here. Oh boy.
I had zero intention.
Okay. Okay. And he's gonna just take his time. Just because you can't rush these things. You'll blow out no ring. So he'll try to just have a conversation with. So
he might get up and go. I think I'm done. Oh. No.
Oh boy. I was just starting to stand up. Oh boy, round 2. Oh
yeah. Make me another communications roll.
Of course.
With a +1.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
There we go.
Because that's actually lower than
that performance was outstanding. That was Academy Award winning right there. Yeah.
5
I've
plus
never
5
seen
is,
somebody shoot so well.
5 plus 5 is 10. Plus 2 for my deception, and then plus 1 would be 13.
13.
Plus an extra 1.
Well, no, I added the extra 1.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he didn't roll as good this time.
Ooh.
And you hear Frederick say, well, you got to the bathroom. I need to get back. And you hear him start walking away.
Thank you again. I greatly appreciate it. I'm sorry to have been such a burden to you.
He does not respond as he just keeps walking.
Okay. It's the best he can do at this point. So. And he'll just sit there for a little while waiting, because he's got to play the part. So.
He's trying to be convincing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
All right. So back with Aiden and Eaosia. You make your way down, and you do eventually find a much smaller library down here. Although many of like the various like tomes and scrolls here appear to be sort of like behind like glass cases.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yes, this is exactly it. And not even a locked door. Like this is clearly destined for us.
We need to check for arcane. We're literally in the magic spire. Who knows what runes they have written here?
Indeed.
I am going to. Is it a perception or arcane lore check?
I'd say in this case it'd be perception. If you're like looking for traps or whatever.
Oh, lit.
If they're conventional traps, I can perhaps aid in this because I have perception as well for such things.
I'd say you can both make one.
Yeah.
I got a 15.
Oh, that's a
14
fantastic
plus 1.
roll. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I need your set of dice.
It's
Whatever
my
you're
online,
using.
I'm using an online dice roller right now because I don't have
Okay.
any
All right.
dice
You
with
know,
me.
that whatever you're using is amazing. I got a 13.
Okay. You do spot a few traps that sort of dispersed throughout.
Are they functional?
As far as you're aware.
Yeah.
Always assume a gun is loaded.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, then disarming said traps, it feels like is a priority at this moment.
Are they like magic or physical trap?
Seemed they seem to be a combination.
You take the magical ones, I'll take the physical ones.
I don't know how to disarm magic traps.
Oh, it's the same as doing magic.
I mean, like I don't have a specific spell to do that in my arsenal, right? I'm a 3-trick pony right now.
Oh. Well, that's a lot of tricks though. Okay. What
My tricks are hit, heal.
So storyteller, game
Yes.
master, would like knowledge in magic be helpful for disarming said magic traps? One might know how these traps are in.
I would say so because, like according to the book, the general, for like normal traps anyway, it's a cunning roll.
Yeah.
Specifically, in engineering.
Right. For conventional.
Yeah,
traps,
for conventional
right?
traps. So I could see the argument for because. To my knowledge, it doesn't say anywhere specific about about magic traps, so I could see it being a cunning roll with like arcane lore or whatever.
Okay, thank you, Aiden.
You're very welcome. We are off the edge of the map here, and I'm happy to help. Yeah.
Yes. For that, I would. For the magic traps, I would allow either a cunning with a focus in arcane lore or like a general magic. Roll.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
So I will take care of the cunning then for the regular traps, and you can go with whatever that's for you.
I have a focus in spirit magic. Would that help or no?
Oh, sorry. If for disarming them, it's a dexterity roll.
Oh, okay.
For me too?
No, for you, I would say it's magic.
Oh. GM, I thought I have a heart attack.
Yeah, no, for the normal ones, it's dexterity. For the magic ones, I'd say it's magic.
Okay, so across the board, even if I used magic, because I don't think spirit magic focus would really help me here.
I would not say so.
Yeah, no. So that is a 2 plus 1. So that's a 14. 11 plus 3.
14. Okay. You managed to disarm one of the ones that you find, but the other one, you're like trying to diffuse the magical properties, but then you start seeing it start pulsing, and you have a feeling that you have only a few seconds to react.
Can I? So when you mean react, do you mean like get out of dodge or like fix it?
You can interpret that how you will.
I would like to make another check to try and fix it.
Okay. All right. So then make me another magic roll.
It's fine. It's fine.
Magic. Come on, magic. Magic. I need you, magic, please. All right, magic. Magic. I like what I see, magic. All right, so that is a 15 total now.
Okay, a
Those
15.
virtual dice are awesome.
Yeah. And so as it starts emanating, you manage to, with a hope and a prayer, to maybe Andraste, but you seem to not be kosher
Fuck
with her
her.
people right now. So
Andraste works in mysterious ways.
yep, and so you just like channel your the magic of the Fade, and then the magic disperses without blowing up in your face.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh my god. You know, they wouldn't have to worry about my blood in the phylactery because that would have been it.
Oh, was it close? It was. You looked like you had it handled.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're fantastic. Yes, truly a person of exceeding talent. And so Aiden will try to do his part in this little operation and disarm the traps. I got a 13 with all the bonuses added.
All right, a 13. Yes,
it's working there with his little tools and everything like that, diligently, like paying attention to all the mechanisms of the trap. He doesn't have the trap's focus, but he's seen enough to know his way around, just enough to be dangerous. Yeah.
Yes, you managed to diffuse this one, no problem.
Yeah.
But there is still at least one other that you're aware of.
Okay.
That needs diffusing.
Okay, so we will attempt this again. I'm almost inclined to go with a virtual roller, given how much success you've had with that, especially given the roll I just rolled. Oh, this is not going to be good. So that is 11. Yeah,
the
with
dice
all the
give it, the dice take it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoops.
Yeah. So.
Okay, we have HP.
Yeah, exactly.
So you are fiddling with it, and just out of curiosity, Eaosia, how close are you to him as he's doing this?
Oh, I'll say I'm like breathing down his neck.
Okay.
Single drop of sweat rolling down his forehead. You know, it's like he's like, okay, this is a little bit more complicated.
Okay. So you are messing with the trap, and then all of a sudden, and it explodes.
Oh God!
Blasting both of you backwards, and you both take.
See, I put myself in this situation because LOL.
You both take 10 points of damage.
Oh God!
Shit.
And now, what kind of damage are we dealing with here?
It appeared to be sort of like an electrical explosion.
Ah!
Was it loud?
It wasn't quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But also,
Bukio really clogging up the pipes.
yeah. I'm saying, but also you're a decent way, like
Down.
under the main entrance.
Yeah.
So
We have some many feet of stone blocking us.
Yeah. So you would hope that sort of muffles it a fair amount.
Right. I mean, electricity isn't really loud. It's just kind of a big shock. You know, it's like you stuck your finger in a socket. So like, yeah.
Eaosia gets up dazed. Her hair is like a lot bigger than before.
Exactly. The hair is just like puffed out.
She has like one eye that's unwillingly twitching. Are you okay?
Woo! That was. Sometimes they get clever with those traps. Whoa, you know, his hands are kind of like a little bit like jittery. Like, whew. Are you all right?
You know, yeah, yes. I have never known failure to have such shocking results.
Indeed. It's yeah. I don't
Well,
know if that was part of the effect or not, but it was.
let's get the illicit and be done with this.
Indeed, illicit materials, GM, please.
Okay.
Please, let me
And
get. the
I'm
dark
glad that it was
spot.
electricity and not, for example,
The-
fire, because that
You
might
wanna
have
get the
destroyed
what?
the illicit materials. So, yeah.
The illicit materials, the dark smut.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. That's what I.
Know that they're
That's what I.
taking away the porn manga because they
That's
won't let us read it.
Curious
That's-
artifacts
that's
that
what I
look
thought you
like
said. I just wanted to
be used for
clarify.
illicit purposes. Yeah. So yes, please. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Magic,
Are
Yeah.
you looking for, and other than the dark smut, obviously, are you looking for anything in particular?
If you have like how to get power quick for dummies, number one.
A tome on blood magic.
Well, for
Oh,
Aiden,
a
I
tome
think
on
she
blood
was focused
magic?
on-
That's easily enough to find. That is
Yeah.
very forbidden.
Yeah.
For Eaosia, I think she's trying to find two major things. One, stuff about like spirit and force magic,
Okay.
and two, things about maybe the chantry has some dirty secret down here. Maybe some like old Tevinter Empire knowledge. Who knows? So she's kind of looking for that old secret stuff that Blight Mage who was like, yeah, here's my research, and she's like, well, I'm gonna say this is mine now.
The deep magic. Yeah.
Yeah, the deep magic.
Yeah.
Appropriation.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Now, Aiden is going to be looking for a compendium of a demonicum compendium. A listing and
Of like various
you know
like-
exactly what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
A bestiary, if you will, for
Yes.
the spiritual.
yes, of various fade spirits and demons.
Indeed, and ways to contact and communicate and perhaps even acquire favors from
Okay.
safe spirits.
Okay.
exactly.
All right. I will have both of you make me perception rolls
Excellent. Come on,
to
dice.
try and
Nice.
track these things down.
Perception. Let's
Perception.
go. Perception.
That's a 14.
14. Okay.
12 plus 1. 13.
13. Okay. So, Aiden, you do manage to find a like many of these things are like locked behind glass cases. So you do manage to find something that sort of matches the general description of what you were looking for, sort of demonomicon
Yes.
for contacting fade spirits.
You got to
And
pull that, blow the dust from it, in a very theatrical way.
Okay.
And just kind of clear the cover off and go, oh, this is amazing. And then he's going to store it into his coat of many pockets as much as he possibly can, with the intention of also like writing down the titles of all the other tomes there that he can as quickly as possible. Because he knows that their friend Bukio is currently probably at the end of his little deception. So,
yes. Okay. And Eaosia, so you were looking for something involving spirit magic and also something
Like spirit / force magic. Like I'm not looking into like the spirit fade. I'm looking into like the spirit magic school, which
Spirit
is like
magic
the force
school.
focus.
Yes. Okay. I assumed.
We know what was going on.
Yes. Let's see. You do manage to find a journal from a Tevinter blood mage who made if you're looking for the more like forbidden stuff, who was known for taking meticulous notes on his various spells and dealings and things of that nature. And for like the spirit slash force mage, you find an old scroll written in Elvish that talks about the arcane warriors.
Okay.
That's some ancient knowledge right there. Arcane warriors goes way back.
Really?
Yes.
I'll be honest, I kind of passed out during my history class.
Well, if you show it to Aiden, while he can't perform the magic, he knows of them, and it's like, this is ancient Elvish magic right here. This is,
oh my God,
this goes way
Aiden.
back. Yeah.
Are you a
thousands
monster
of years?
fucker? Is that what you were interested in the bestiary for?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, many things really. My curiosity knows no bounds, Eaosia.
Cool.
No
I mean,
bounds.
I didn't find any interesting smut. The things here are honestly really dry. I write most of them, so I'm at the top of the ladder, but everybody else beneath me is a peon. And the smut,
I'm sorry.
rate.
Did you say you write smut?
Yeah. I mean, what else am I supposed to do?
You've not actually gotten published or anything, I assume.
Let me see. I live in a magic white tower surrounded by the dumbest people on earth belonging to a religious cult.
You know what? I have an idea. If you get me the smut, right? I don't know if you have any on you right now.
She pulls out a packet. Like, it's like the first chapter of like a thing called The Pink Petal Paradise.
I have just the office for this. And he takes it,
It's only published by chapter because the Templars really crack down on this sort of stuff. So
That's
I
how
spread it
we
out
do
by
it.
chapter so people can read it by chapter, and then I'll do the next one.
Oh, absolutely. That's how we do it. That's the publishing industry loves this because everybody's clamoring for the sequel or for the next issue. And so, the printing costs are exorbitant for like publishing all of this stuff at once.
Yes, this one is an illicit mage romance, right? It is between an upper echelon enchanter and it is between a newer a mage. And the issue is that there's like the threat of tranquility ruining their relationship, and actually just ruining their lives. And I've written one about, two knights who got together. And I also wrote one about a magic princess with magic hair who lived in a tower, and the hair was really long. And then this man, snuck into her house, and she was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" But he was like, "Oh my God, like I haiku really like hair. I'm a hairstylist and a thief." And she was like, "Oh, I kind of find that really sexy because like nobody's ever braided my hair before." And so
as Eaosia is talking, like he's been inspired because what he's going to do is he's just remembered something he used to do in order to secret away tomes from the forbidden part of the libraries and everything without getting caught, because you might wonder how this happens. And what he has done is he's taken another book that he has and he's ripped out the pages and he's basically stuffed them in another pocket and he's taken the cover and put it over the illicit tome, the Demonica tome, so that the cover looks like just this regular tome on
oh my goodness, you've binded my book.
Yes, exactly. So basically he's binding it not just for yours, but for the Demonicum. Basically he's covering over the tome with that, on and replacing it with just a very mundane topic on, dwarven lore or something, like the stone or something. It's just like really, something nobody would be interested in.
I will tell you more about my endeavors upstairs.
Absolutely.
I run a lot of illicit circles here.
I need you to continue to send your pamphlets and your editions and chapters to that address that I gave you. We will turn this around. You have an adoring audience you don't even know about on the outside of these walls.
Oh, that's great. I always know I have fans.
Yes, exactly. You will have so many fans, and then they will be so ready for the next chapters of your talented smut writing. And so he's like, but let us go, because I'm sure that our friend Bukio is at the end of his bow exchange with the
There is only
Templar.
so much flatulence one can fake.
Indeed,
so-
yes, exactly, yes. And he is very small. So, yeah.
I mean, but small but mighty. So
Indeed, yeah.
So
Yes.
you never know what to expect.
The smell Aiden fears.
He gets
Yeah.
compressed in his form.
We must go. And then, they'll squirrel their way back up the stairs quickly.
Aiden, how are we getting out with being noticed?
Oh, that's a great question. You could enact Plan B and give me the tome that you found. I'll put it in the extra pocket in my coat here,
They
and
will search me definitely, but they might not search you.
exactly. That's right.
And if anything, we can do a bit of sleight of hand later and figure something out.
Absolutely.
And we might be able to give it to Bukio, who is the most innocent of us, technically.
Indeed, yes.
Technically the most innocent.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will try and sneak out of the door, and
First.
I will try to sneak up the stairs around where Wet Blanket is.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
And then I will cause a commotion with Wet Blanket. And then while I do that, I will be making sure that Wet Blanket turns around and looks at me or is so entranced. I honestly think Wet Blanket likes me a little bit because I'm so pretty, but I'm honestly so out of Wet Blanket's league that he shouldn't even be thinking about it. But
let's hope he is.
Let's hope he is, because I will use my, as I once read the book, feminine wiles to distract him and make him so angry with lust at me that he can't direct anywhere because he's probably a eunuch.
Brilliant.
All right. I think we make the best plans.
Listen, we just give the people what they want. So, yes.
So we're going to go back up to the door. And
Okay.
I think the big thing is Eaosia getting out of the door and back up the stairs without him seeing.
Okay, I love it. Hold the thought real quick. Just real quick. Yeah, quick question. Buccio, how long do you stay in the bathroom?
He probably stayed in there probably 10 minutes. And then made a grand exit, going, ooh.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Oh, and he, ooh, don't go in there, even if he doesn't think there's anyone watching. And he'll, shut the door. And he'll actually probably just take a couple steps away, and then we'll just kind of lean against the wall. He doesn't want to go back to where...
He doesn't want to go back towards the main entrance?
No. Because he thinks he's kind of played his part. And if he goes back, they might start to put together, go, hey, wait, why isn't he with them? So he's probably just going to stay about where he is. And, is there any magical hand sanitizer here?
No. The best you have to work with is soap.
Oh, I use it. It's kind of the same bar for everyone. That was kind of,
work with what you got.
Oh yeah. I did. I mean, I washed them. I mean, I'm not a total uncouth pig.
So are you talking to Frederick right now?
Did Frederick stay?
No, Frederick walked away.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. No. Then he's just. If anyone walks by, he happens.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, hold up a second.
Well, I
Okay,
mean,
never
if he
mind.
engaged Frederick on the topic of sanitary measures and inherent or missing from the tower, I feel like that would be another topic that Frederick would be deeply engrossed in.
Yeah, no, I know Frederick walked away. He's just standing a couple feet away from the privy, and if anybody walks by,
has a piece of toilet paper dragging away from
Yeah. Okay. Nobody seems to be bothering you right now. So we're just hanging out there. Then we'll go back to Eaosia. So you peek your head out from there. You see Frederick, or as you so affectionately call him, Wet Blanket. He is back at his post, still alone because his fellow Templar seemingly just abandoned him, and everyone else is dragging their feet around here.
So, like, is he facing my direction, or am I kind of like in the peripheral?
You're sort of like in the peripheral, and he's like facing away from you, like, and you're like in the periphery, essentially.
Can Bukio see me?
Buccio is behind a door, so he cannot currently see you now.
I might just have to run. And I'll make it look like I came down the stairs. That's my main thing. I'm gonna run down the stairs and make it look like I was coming down the stairs.
Yeah, he never saw us, so he doesn't know where he assumes that you
Like,
might
I
be.
wanna, because he's on one side of the stairs, right? And I'm on the peripheral, which would be on the other side of the stairs.
So the way it's set up is, he's on like that like little landing immediately before like the sort of like double set of stairs that leads up to the spiral. The door you're exiting from is immediately below like the landing, so yeah, it's like just off of like the main entryway, sort of like in the middle of the room, whereas he's like at the he's like towards the back end of the room.
Okay, so I'm in the middle, he's towards the back end.
Yes.
So is my plan conceivable?
I would say nothing's impossible, but you'll definitely have to be creative about how you try and pull it off. At the very least, you could conceivably make it look like you came out of a different door.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna make it look like I came out of a different door.
Okay.
That works.
There we go. All right. So I rolled
that way. They're looking in a different direction from where Aiden will be coming out of.
Yeah, especially if she like walks around where he's
Right.
like facing away from you entirely, then absolutely.
Right.
This might not go so well though, so we're gonna have to just work with what we got, guys, because my dexterity is dog shit.
Well, if you try and since it's out of his like just out of his periphery, hypothetically, you could just bullshit your way out of it.
It might be cunning instead of or communication even.
Could Buccio appear from at the door he went through finally?
I would say they could. I'd say you'll be like a minute or two behind whatever Eaosia does, and then you can like reconvene.
Okay.
With their powers combined, this might be the distraction we need.
Yeah.
Have this in the bag, all right? E&E team right here.
Yeah.
All right, so she's gonna kind of pretend that she's walked out of a different door.
Okay.
And what it would be behind the door that she's pretending to walk out of, like?
The one that she's trying to walk out of, I'd say it would be a separate set of stairs that sort of like lead up towards like the kitchen area.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna walk like by that, like pretend she's walking out of that door and like brush some fake crumbs off like her chest and her like mouth, and just kind of like look over at Wet Blanket and go, "Oh, funny seeing you here. What are you doing over here, Wet Blanket?"
I'm on shift, and you don't need to act all sneaky if you're just trying to get extra bread cakes.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am a woman watching my figure, and I do not indulge in breadcakes. So, it's different for people who have a life. Like, I know that your life is like so sad and dull, and that I'm like the only vibrance in it. And she's kind of like walking up to him as she says this.
Uh-huh.
But, it doesn't suit you to be, jealous. I know you might want some bread cakes, but you might want to watch it. The armor doesn't allow us to fill out so much, does it?
Is there a reason you're always so hostile towards me?
Is there a reason you suck? Yeah. Because you work here as a Templar. You went here willingly into the church. So, and she's getting like real close as she says this. She's like, I just wanted you to know, like, I'm not very fond of public decoration and like, hand on like, the pauldron or whatever. But I'm going to make sure every day you have with me is one to remember. And most likely not fondly. And, you guys locked me up here for a reason. And my main goal is to show you why that was such a bad idea. But part of me thinks I'm proving that it's such a good idea. Because I am dangerous. To you specifically. Don't you think?
Make me a communications roll. I don't know if you have intimidation or anything, but...
Nah, man, just straight words.
All right, then you just use them straight words.
That's a 13 plus 1. 14.
14. Okay.
I'm trying to inspire anger, lust, fear, just an absolute culmination of opposing.
So you want him to be angry and horny. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want him to have like a hate boner, and like that's my main goal. That is so annoying.
It's not bad.
Turns around, slams her up against the wall.
That could end really badly.
This gets real hot and heavy real fast.
Go further up.
But so 14, not bad. You sort of like sense that he's getting like slightly riled up, but he's not about to start like,
that's not what I'm aiming for. I don't want to do too well.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's like not about to start breaking his composure or anything like that. But he just says, "I had nothing to do with you coming to the Spire, and all I aim to do is keep everyone in the Spire safe, mages and Templars alike."
I can see you sweat, wet blanket. I can smell your fear. I know where your room is.
And with that, Buccio, you finally peek your head out.
And he'll like smack his staff against the ground, and he's like, "Oh my god, I feel so much better."
You found the bathroom, Buccio?
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm so glad.
Oh my god, that was embarrassing. I mean, I had the chicken croquets at that little tavern Francois runs. Maybe something was bad in it. Oh boy.
I wouldn't know since the Mage Tower doesn't let me out. But it sounds amazing. You should tell me more about this tavern.
I'd like to. I just don't. I can't recommend that place. But anyway, Frederick, again, thank you. Oh boy. My first visit here, and I've already made a boo-boo. I guess I've made a fool out of myself. But
well, you know where it is next time, should that need arise.
That's true. And he's gonna try to stall the best he can, because he sees Eaosia, and just try. He's now suddenly going to become talkative.
Yeah. Aiden. So now they have a double whammy going on right now.
Yes, they have set up the situation perfectly, and he steps up and basically is ready to do what he wants to do. I assume this is going to be a dexterity stealth roll to make it past our beleaguered wet blanket here, who is being currently distracted and verbally assaulted from two different directions.
Certainly true. Yes.
Yes. So here we go. That's my most solid roll of this game so far. So that is 13 base plus 3 on dexterity plus the 2 because he's got the scout novice stealth extra. So that is 18.
That is very good.
18.
That's very good.
Yes. He is a shadow, a phantom even. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you like walk out of there and you basically just like creep along the wall while he's distracted.
Indeed.
And then basically just like dive roll your way up the stairs out of sight.
Dramatically, yeah. Yeah. So he's basically Batman at this point, or a ninja, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, whatever stealthy
yes.
individual you wish to equate him to.
Indeed, shades wish they were this stealthy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, but now
crows would be proud.
Yes, but now you are successfully made none the wiser.
I have ascended to the place where we are at. The materials are safely secured, and our escape has been successful. And if need be, he is more than willing to step out upon the balcony of the upper floors where they were originally, and signal his 2 companions that the mission has been a success. So.
Eaosia will kind of like look at the door. And did they notice him going? Like, were we keeping an eye out to kind of see if he had skedaddled?
Oh no, he's signaling for. Oh, Eaosia!
1 second you're like distracting Frederick, and then next thing you know, Aiden's up on the balcony signaling.
Yes, exactly. He's like, "Hello there. I wondered where you 2 got off to."
We left him alone for too long, Bukyo. Let us go. I will see you later, wet blanket. Hopefully I don't.
I'm sure we'll see each other again, Eaosia.
And she'll turn to Bukyo and be like, can you see how he slobbers after me? Oh.
And Bukyo will just follow.
Yes. And sort of like halfway up the stairs, you are stopped by Adrian just standing on the stairs.
I was showing him the bathroom. And maybe eating a cake. But mostly bathroom. It took him a while.
Yeah, you don't want to use that one down there. It's, oof, boy. Yeah, there might be a cleaner one up here, I'm guessing.
I think we both know there's more to that story than you're letting on right now. But regardless, I'm not here to slap your wrist or anything of that sort. I merely wanted to present you with this, Eaosia. And she hands you a written paper with a seal stamped on it. And she says, that grants you permission to leave the White Spire. You must remain within the city. Should you break those bounds, there will be repercussions. It's the best I could do, but you are able to come and go within reason.
I can go outside?
You can go outside.
And from behind Adrian, like Aiden is like,
put 2 big pegs on Adrian's cheeks and be like, oh, you work wonders, you work wonders. This is why you're a faction leader. This is why you were great. You have my vote. Oh my god. And she's going to turn to Aiden. Aiden, I get to leave.
Fantastic. That shall go into my report too, as well as the immaculate organization of the library. That I was impressed with, and Tranquil in there helped me to basically find out how much you prize the knowledge that you keep here, and honestly, I would very much looking forward to returning and exploring more of this fine facility that you have. It has been an exquisite experience once we got past the initial misunderstandings and obstruction that your wet blanket there, and your confused tranquil at the bottom of the stairs was obviously misinformed about.
We will see about a next time.
Having connections on the outside is good. The university would deeply. I think there are professors there who would deeply support these explorations and continued partnership between our two institutions.
Oh,
It would be a
Adrian,
good thing.
You must let him come back, Adrian. He really did appreciate our history section. I honestly think that our mind and force magic section could be a bit more robust, but he did really enjoy that section on politics. It was really great.
Exquisitely.
If you let my friend come.
I will try and put in a good word, and we'll see what happens.
I will speak to my people on the outside, and I'm sure it will be deeply appreciated. Our two institutions will benefit from each of our perspectives. Thank you, sir, for your time. So,
Wukio, this is good news. Now we can go to a good tavern that doesn't give you irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah, definitely not Francois.
Yeah.
I've got the next major smut writer author right here.
Oh.
We're gonna make so much fucking money.
Adrian, they're going to make me famous.
Yeah. We're gonna get you a pseudonym.
Exact. Oh my God, Adrian, what is a good pseudonym?
Kinkleferter.
Wukio? What a genius. I will write all my books under the name Kinkleferter.
Oh boy. Well,
Adrian, I will use those funds for our endeavors.
Barrett Tetris has got competition. That's all I've got to say.
Well, I trust you can see yourselves out now. It has been lovely having you here.
I think on the way out, Big gonna give out a little fart. He's like, "Ooh, boy, sorry." Just to sell it.
Bye bye, Wukio. Bye bye, Aiden. Come back soon.
Indeed. Yes. You're coming with us, right?
Oh. You
have a hall pass, right?
Yeah. We'll wait for you.
Yeah.
Adrian, I can just go?
I would advise it being back before too late, but yes.
I can come. And she kind of like picks up her skirts and runs down the stairs, and she like kind of turns back hastily, gives a quick bow towards Adrian, expressing her heartfelt gratitude. Quick up to wet blanket.
Yep, and he just gives you a nod to that one.
And she runs out and she'll grab Wukio and Adrian in her arms and be like, let's go. We have a whole city to explore. Yeah, it's very funny
between
like Wukio and
yeah.
Eaosia. She's more
I think
kind
she's
of
actually the tallest one of the group, honestly. Yeah.
And that seems like a good place to stop.
End curtain. Yes.
Running off into the sunset.
Oh, God. So we completely derailed you.
I mean,
our game master needed was like, this is what's going to happen at the end. This is the place. Now you guys go.
Yes. I would say, yes and no, because honestly, this is more or less, not the exact specificity of it, but I'm like, yeah, they're definitely going to make their way down to that archive. I already know.
Yeah.
Aiden said, illicit knowledge. You were like, check.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Oh God, this is gonna be it. This is gonna
publishing
be,
smut throughout Val Royo. Check.
She's like political papers and.
Yes. It's amazing.
All right, and wait till we get tea in here. Then it's gonna really.
I know. Then it's really going to be the most chaotic team I've ever run for.
Indeed, yes.
Our team name is all of our first letters of our first names together. So we're Team Bay.
Yes, Team Bay.
Team Bay.
That's good. That's good.
I was thinking about that the other night. I was like, I want to do this.
You're a genius, a true genius.
Inspired.
All
All
right.
right.
Uh,
Thanks everybody who watched. We appreciate your support. We love mini melts. I'm going to turn it over to my friend.
Anybody
Oh.
who wants to take up the opportunity to mod in Pink Petal Paradise, into the books, into the games, we fully support that.
yes, yes, yeah.
If you
Yeah.
want to make any character based off these characters we're making, just let us know first. I will let you know all the lore.
Mhm.
But
100%. Yes.
as an advertisement and more actually of a plea towards the Mini Mel Ice Cream Company, you know who I am. I know who you are. We've done this many a time on Trash Mob. I think you might even know me from Twitter because I've tagged you multiple times. I want you badly. I want you to sponsor us badly, Mini Melts. I want you to give me attention. I want you to send me a box of your cotton candy flavor because every time I have to buy it in the New Jersey Mall, I can't justify spending $6 on 6 seconds of happiness. So here's our deal. You know what I want. You know what you could get out of this, right? Our channel may be small, but we are mighty. And also, it looks like great PR, if not charity work. So just give me the box and the sponsorship, maybe even a t-shirt. And I will be supremely happy. I'll never ask anything of you again. I'll even buy your $6 ice creams at the vending machine. I'll do it. I won't. I go to the 7-Eleven to get $3 ones, all right? Because that's better. That's better for me, better for my wallet. But I love you so much, Mini Melts, that I would be willing to pay twice the price if you just showed me you reciprocated that. So, Mini Melts Ice Cream Company, please sponsor us, please.
The ball is in your court, Mini Melt.
As it always is.
Oh, my jaws hurt from laughing.
I know, my cheeks. My
All
You're gonna
cheeks
hear this
hurt.
when I'm in my 70s and actually send me a box.
We could even do the naming of the flavors, based
Yeah,
on things.
I would have great ideas. I would have great ideas. I have good ideas for
It
your
can be a
podcast.
collaborative experience.
Indeed, yes.
Exactly.
You have new flavors named after all the characters.
Indeed.
Eosia's elderberry,
Uchiyo explosion. So.
apple bomb Aiden, gummy bear game master.
Indeed.
Yeah, it writes itself. It
Indeed,
writes
yes.
itself.
Or I could write it. Hire me,
Yeah,
Mini Melts.
yeah. Or Vivi can write it. She'll be fantastic.
You know what I mean.
All right, my friends, we gotta close down for tonight. But thanks to everyone, and we will see you all again next Friday. Good night.
Friday.
See you next Friday.
Night, everybody.
Mini Melts